Welcome to the weekly top 10 news on geoeconomic and geopolitical conflicts made by GGN. From May 28 to June 3, 2021. 10. Russian Gazprom has resumed crude oil production in Libya under its joint venture agreement with Germany's Wintershall. Oil production facilities reopened after a 10-month hiatus amid a fragile political and military situation in Libya that indeed shook the country's oil exports. Source: Warsaw Institute. 9. Sudan is reviewing a deal the previous regime negotiated with Russia, allowing construction of a naval base, after some clauses were found to be somewhat harmful. Sudan was dependent militarily on Russia because of crippling sanctions imposed by Washington against the government of now ousted President Omar al-Bashir, but since his 2019 overthrow, Sudan has moved closer to the United States. Source: The Arab Weekly. 8. Turkey slammed Israel's new project to build settler units in the Beit El settlement, near the West Bank city of Ramallah. The continuing of such provocations, while the suffering in Gaza is still fresh, shows that the Israeli authorities have not taken any lessons from the incident that took place, said a Foreign Ministry of Turkey statement. Source: Yeni Shafak. 7. Taliban militants are gathering across Afghanistan, in preparation for a possible takeover of the country by force, as US and NATO troops exit over the next few months, the United Nations has warned. The insurgents continue to be closely aligned with Al-Qaeda and are massing forces around key provincial capitals and district centers. Source: Bloomberg. 6. Russia and Pakistan have signed an intergovernmental agreement to build the Pakistan Stream gas pipeline for transportation of gas from Karachi to Qasr in the Asian country. The two countries had signed an intergovernmental agreement on the project in 2015, but its implementation got postponed. Source: EasternEye. 5. Russia says it will conduct strategic military drills in the Arctic this autumn. Russia is hoping to gain economic influence and make use of the Northern Sea Route shipping channel to export oil and gas to overseas markets. Russia has invested heavily to develop the route, which cuts the journey to Asian ports by 15 days compared with using the traditional Suez Canal route. Source: RFERL. 4. The G7 is expected to launch a clean green initiative to rival China's Belt and Road Initiative when leaders meet at the summit in UK. The strategy would provide a framework to support sustainable development and the green transition in developing countries. Source: Al Jazeera. 3. Member nations of the Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership officially agreed to allow the United Kingdom to start the process of joining the pact. The United Kingdom's admission into the agreement would bring the nominal gross domestic product of the zone covered by the pact almost on par with that of the European Union. Source: Reuters. 2. Prime Ministers of Australia and New Zealand issued a joint statement expressing concern over Beijing's intensification of destabilizing activities in the South China Sea, and accused China of taking steps to undermine the autonomy of Hong Kong. Relations between Australia and China have deteriorated significantly since Australia called for an investigation into the origins of COVID-19. Source: Fast News. 1. China has pledged to keep up strategic communication with North Korea and help the sanctions-hit nation cope with worsening economic problems amid a prolonged nuclear stalemate with the US, at a time when both are being targeted as security threats by the United States and its allies. Source: South China Morning Post. If you like the video, please press like or subscribe. To read daily news and analysis on geoeconomics and geopolitics, you can follow GGN on Twitter, Facebook, or visit the website, which can be found in the description. Thanks a lot. Until next week.